G'day, Steve Gurney here for the Beginner's Guide to Adventure Sport book. This video is for the climbing chapter, and more specifically about how to fit your harness and how to tie into the end of the rope. So why would we want a harness on? Well, when we're climbing we're usually pushing our limits a bit, and there's the odd occasion where we'll fall off. That's normal, that happens quite often, so we want to make sure that we're safe. And if we're firmly fitted into a harness and that's securely attached to the end of the rope and that's into a nice strong anchor, and then the rope comes down to our belayer who's ready and concentrating, then we'll be totally safe. So you want to think, well, how do we fit it firmly? I guess the measure for me would be is if I fell upside down, would I still stay in the harness? So let's just talk about the harness here. Well, these are the leg loops, those two lower leg pieces for your legs, obviously. Now, one thing I do want to check here is I don't want any flappy clothing hanging around that could get caught in my belay device. So I'll tuck my clothes in here before I put the harness on, just to make sure that they're not going to get in the way. Same with long hair. If you've got long hair, I haven't got any hair. If you've got long hair, then you need to tie it well out of the way. And then the waist belt. Now this is a pretty typical harness. There's lots of different varieties, but this has got a normal buckle, and so I'll feed the webbing through the buckle and I'll get it really nice and firm, not so much that it cuts my circulation off or that it's uncomfortable, but just firm enough so that I couldn't possibly slip out of the harness. So I'm doing it nice and tight, and I'm checking now, I'll check that could I get this past my hips. Even if it was a big strong fall off the rock, would it come past my hips? No, it won't, so I'm pretty satisfied with that. And now I'm nice and secure in my harness, but as an extra precaution we do a double back. We get the extra piece of webbing, so we've got some redundancy there. So I feed it back through here. So at the moment the buckle says O, we could say that's over open, and once I've fed it back through here, see the buckle says C for closed. It's the same with my leg loops. I'll do a final check that I can't get it off, and then what we do is we get the belayer and the climber to check each other's harnesses to check that they're all doubled back and they're safe and they're fitting firmly. And so now we're ready to tie the rope in. Okay, so we've fitted our harness and we've checked each other to check that it's correctly threaded through the buckles and it's nice and firm. So now it's time to tie into the climbing rope. So we've got a climbing rope here that we've what we call flaked out already. So we've gone through and we've checked it all. There's no knots or tangles in it, and it's on a nice tarp to keep it clean. And so now we've got the end here, and we're going to attach into here using a follow-through figure eight. So we need to make a figure eight in the rope. So we'll go around like that, then round the back of the rope, then back down through the hole again, and you'll see there's a figure eight in there. So if you follow it around, you'll see it goes up through there, round the back, and round through there, and then back up there. So there's a nice figure eight. So then we take this loose end and we feed it through both loops on our harness, and then we feed it back through that figure eight. So here I've got the end and I've got the eight, so I'm going to feed it back through there and following that all the way back out until the end is hanging out there. So here we go, we'll follow through. So we're going, actually I'll go around the outside here, we'll go through there, round there, back up through this. So I'm following this piece, then I'm following back around behind those ropes, then I'm going back down through that hole again. So it's poking out exit through there. So how's that? That's a very cool figure eight. Then we pull it nice and firm and close to our harness. Just tighten it up and tidy it up. And now one way to check we've got it right, apart from that it looks really, it looks like a nice 8, isn't that beautiful? We count the number of double ropes we've got. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we want to find 5 double ropes, and that's a good check. Of course we can get our belayer to check us as well. So we check each other, double check for redundancy to make sure we're nice and safe. So now we're all ready to climb. You want to check out the next video on belaying.